The US is calling it the largest seizure of fuel from Iran. It's intercepted 4 tankers carrying more than 1 million barrels of oil to Venezuela after winning a federal court order last month.
We have 4 tankers. They go into Houston, and they're there. They're not supposed to be doing that. Iran's not supposed to be doing that. And so we did. We seized the tankers, and we're moving them and moved to Houston.
But Iran says the Liberian-flagged ships have nothing to do with them. It accuses the US of lies and psychological warfare.
No,
right now there's nothing planned because we haven't had a request from our Venezuelan friends as they are reactivating their own refineries. US officials are experts in fabricating lies and carrying out shows in the media.
The details of the capture are murky. When the seizure order was produced more than a month ago, all of the ships turned off their tracking devices, seemingly not wanting to be found. But what's certain is that Trump is ramping up his campaign against Iran and Venezuela at sea.
The public documents suggest that the United States negotiated with the owners, operators of those 4 tankers and arranged peaceably and agreeably for the transfer of the Iranian oil, refined oil, headed to Venezuela to other ships. Those ships are the ones that the president indicated have arrived in U.S. waters or are about to arrive in U.S. waters.
Venezuela has become increasingly more reliant on oil from Iran. It had previously received shipments in May and June. Although Venezuela sits on one of the world's largest crude oil reserves, it's unable to refine it. US sanctions, corruption and a lack of investment is blamed for the decline of its oil industry.
The United States hasn't done this too much to date to actually seize the oil. But the United States has a policy of trying to drive Iranian oil exports to zero. They've frozen Iranian revenues from previous oil sales. So in effect, that was confiscating it. And yes, this does ratchet it up another step.
Venezuela and Iran acted in defiance of US sanctions. For now, the seizure at sea appears to have stopped much-needed trade between the allies. Laura Burden-Manley, Al Jazeera.